Hey everybody out there, Chris here with a new video series starting with this video. Actually no, this is actually a relabeling because I'm getting tired of putting update on the top of my videos or trying to figure out a fancy title to put on top so I don't have to say update. So these videos finally got a permanent title. Welcome to video 1 of my Avenger Logs. Originally me and Mike were talking about calling it Avenger Log, but then when there's more than one, won't there be logs? So, yeah, sorry, Mike, plural. We have to work with the plural. Mike, we can't stand it. By the way, Mike's behind the camera. It was actually our idea. Right before I started shooting this video, Mike was like, if you don't want to use the word update, why don't you just come up with a new title? I was like, that's not a bad idea. And that's what we did. So anyway, on these videos, basically, I'm going to have channel updates, video updates, comic book news if I don't want to wait for a comic book review to do the news, or if I have extra days off like this week and next week where I have no comic books to do a review of yet. Also, basically anything. Yeah, basically anything. Let's just say anything could be put on these videos. Unboxings will still be unboxings. If I get a package from somebody, maybe I'd make it an Avenger Log or something like that. Or if I get like a special package delivered to me like that, I make an order of, I'll possibly do an Avenger Log of that. It really depends on how time goes. We'll just let it flow. So for the first video, I have a lot that I want to talk about. There's news, there's video news, update news, and there's channel news. Okay, let's start with the channel news. After my 100th video, I've actually been checking out a lot of other comic reviewer channels. This is what started it. I got a few comments from people who found my channel through Dawk and Howlett. Chris, thank you once again for the awesome comic on the wall. They found me through his channel. A few people found me through other people's channels, and they're also comic reviewers, and I have them friended. And I swear to God, half of them I thought I was subscribed to because my subscription box is ridiculously crazy. I have to actually click subscription to see all of my subscriptions. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. But I thought half of them I was subscribed to and I wasn't. So, and some of them I weren't. I wasn't, and I did. So, anyway, just let's say I subscribed to everybody. I've been enjoying watching so many videos that I actually have updated my awesome reviewers and friends list. Little problem though is I kind of maxed it out. You're only allowed to put 16 channels apparently on there, and I read that a while ago, but I thought I could get away with maybe doing 18. Yeah, no, they cut you off. So instead I have that completely set now, all 16 channels. That's where it's going to stand. And then on the right side, I've actually moved my comment box up, brought my friends and subscribers down underneath the comment box, and underneath subscribers I also put my subscription. So if you guys want to see who I'm subscribed to see more comic reviews that I unfortunately could not put on my awesome reviewers and friends list, check out my subscription. I have figure reviewers, comic reviewers, all types of reviewers, all types of fun channels. I also have 2 gamer channels, Morfar and PewDiePie. Love watching their amnesia walkthroughs. It's funny, it's scary, and it's, yeah. But anyway, I got a bunch of channels that I'm subscribed to there, so if you want to see what I'm watching, there you go. I had Sesame Street on there because we have a little cousin who likes Sesame Street, but I've taken it off so people don't get the wrong idea. So I'll just keep Sesame Street maybe somewhere else subscribed to. So anyway, that's the channel. Oh, and another thing, a new model that I didn't think I didn't know about. I saw it on other people's channels, but I didn't know I could put it on mine. The voting module I now have on my channel. And every month I'm going to pick a question and I'm going to post it out to you guys, and basically you guys can post an answer and then we can all vote on it. This month is the obvious. What your favorite ongoing title from DC's New 52 is. So far I've got one comment where it's Batman and Robin. I'm looking forward, hopefully now that you guys know it's there, you'll go to my channel and everybody will do a vote. We can have fun, you know, communication is always awesome. Comic books. Due to New York Comic Con and Columbus Day, it's Friday, and my comics still haven't shipped. Just as they got back on track, they are now off track again. Because there's no way, even if they ship out right now, that they're going to make it here by tomorrow. So, comic book review will be in the middle of probably next week. Again. I'm getting really sick of these holidays, and I'm getting really, the new 52 are not selling anymore, the number 2s. They're not selling out. What's the holdup, Midtown? I mean, I understand it might be New York Comic Con, because the Javits Center apparently is near one of the Midtowns, and that probably is slowing down the comic delivery. We'll see next week how it is. If it's just as bad next week, then there's something up here, and, Midtown, come on. Get on the ball. So yeah, I'm sorry guys, comic review is going to be a bit late. Good news is, Mike and me will have the time to do it in the middle of the week. Unfortunately, the 2 comics Amber has will have to be moved to the next comic review again. So she'll be reviewing more than just 2 books in 2 weeks because of that. But I'll mention the books in the comic review. I'm as upset as you guys are. I've seen so many of you already got your comics and have done reviews. Unfortunately, I don't have a comic book store near me, so I have to rely on the mail, and this is what happens when you rely on the mail. Speaking of New York Comic Con, I got this idea from Dawkin Howlett. Also, Dawkin, you have so many good ideas, man. You should be literally like a businessman or something. You got great ideas. Since we couldn't afford to go to New York Comic Con this year, this was on top of it, by the way, Pepsi, my #1 favorite drink. Since we couldn't afford to go to Comic Con this year, due to the fact that we didn't have enough money because tickets were $50 each, and also we need money for spending, I've decided to create something, or do something, where I can start saving from now up until New York Comic Con. And that's in the form of a jug. Thank you, Dawkin Howlett, for the jug idea. And you guys probably saw this from the Spider-Man Superboy show. I actually wrote on the front, no more Spider-Man, get more Superboy. But no, this is a New York Comic Con jug. I did not get a picture, so I'm just going to work with the black writing from a marker on it. And this jug is basically going to be where I'm going to be putting my extra money from recycling or selling some comics or trading away some comics that I got from people who didn't want any more, or from extra money from work, whatever, is going to go in this jug. This jug is going to be the money for the tickets, and then after that, whatever extra money's in here is going to be extra money for buying stuff at New York Comic Con next year for 2012, before the world ends. Oh, come on, Mike. That's going to be fun. December of 2012, watching everybody.
Watch it not happen like Y2K in 2000.
So, will I be posting jug updates from time to time? Yes, but mostly I'm just going to be putting the money in here off camera, and then maybe when I'm doing one of these Avenger Logs, I'll lift it up and say, I'm going to maybe put a piece of paper here with how much I'm putting in, and Mike's also going to be putting money in.
No, I was just saying, for just the funny, you should just put a penny in there just for beginning.
I don't have a penny. Give me that change up there.
Which one? These?
It's right, yeah, right there. So anyway, this is going to be for everything. There we go. How much cents do I have? Let's see. 25, 35, 45, 50. 50 cents. There we go, 50 cents.
And still more to go.
Yes, so I have an entire 11 months before I have to order the tickets, and then I have actually a full year before I have to worry about money for the con. So this jug is going to be a year in the making. I'm really not going to put change in here. As soon as I get the other 50 cents, I'm going to change it for $1. But yeah, 50 cents so far towards next year's New York Comic Con. Thank you for the idea, Dawkin. Once again, I can put my Pepsi back on top of it. Okay, that's that. Also, recently in the news, since I'm not going to be able to do my comic review till the middle of next week, the first day of Comic-Con, they've already announced several things, which I will discuss in a minute. And also, Books A Million, which is not in New York, but apparently it is in certain states. I'm sitting on my bed and it's kind of uncomfortable. I'm still centered. Books A Million has officially taken all their DC comic graphic novels off the shelf due to the fact of the Amazon Fire contract signing also. So now there are no more books in Books A Million that are DC related anymore, because Books A Million wants to give their people everything also. And I don't blame Books A Million, and I don't blame Barnes & Noble. I don't understand where DC's mind is, where their mindset is, where their business mindset is. Why only give it to Amazon, even if it's a 4-month trial? Why give it to one company when you could give it to every single company to try out and see where it sells and where it doesn't? Then you can, if you want, which is wrong anyway, make exclusive contracts. I understand everybody orders on Amazon. Believe me, I get my DVDs, my books sometimes, and everything from Amazon other than comic books. But for real, why are you going to be exclusive to Amazon? People still buy at Barnes & Noble. People still buy at Books A Million. There are other bookstores out there, I'm sure, that sell your books and make good and get you guys sales. Why only Amazon.com? It's not the only internet site out there, you know. That's just my gripe. Do I blame the companies? I say it's a lose-lose situation. Books A Million and Barnes & Nobles loses out on their sales, and DC Comic loses out because that's two big bookstores that no longer are selling. I hear it's the books that they're selling on Amazon Fire, just the graphic novels that are on Amazon Fire. I have not gone to Barnes & Noble yet, so I don't know. Hopefully at some point, maybe me and Mike, maybe next week, that'll be a good idea. We'll take the train down to the Barnes & Noble, either in the city or the one that's in uptown Brooklyn, and see if they have any. If they have DC comic books, obviously then that means they just took the books that are going to be on the Amazon Fire or off the shelf. If they have no DC comic books, then we'll see. If we go to ones in this, if we go to one in the city, we could actually go to Midtown also.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
That'd be a nice idea. Let's see if I make some extra money in my check next week from work. So that's that. Let's see what else. There was something else. Okay, let's talk about the news that. And then I have another thing I'm going to mention, but I want to save that for last because it's something I was talking to my friend Talks about, and we'll get to that at the very end. Everybody should stay tuned. That's a comic reviewer. This actually involves you guys, all of you, each and every one of you that have been reviewing comics for a while now, like me. This involves you guys. So either fast forward until I actually start talking about the subject, or just stick around and hear what I've heard about Comic-Con first. Okay, first thing at Comic-Con, I don't understand why people are going crazy. The next writer for Green Arrow as of issue 7 is somebody who is in retirement. I cannot remember her name off the top of my head, and my laptop is closed so I can't get the information, but everybody's acting surprised. Guys, usually after a story arc, writers change. You guys do realize that, right? Because it's like everybody's amazed. Oh, already a writer's been changed on this book. Already a writer's been changed on that book. Yeah, you do realize by issue 7, that's a half year down the road. Usually writers change after every story. Not one writer sticks to one comic book. And if they do, it's because it's their work and they want to see it all the way through. But most of the time, there's 2 or 3 writers on a book. Amazing Spider-Man, Dan Slott's writing it, but there are a bunch of different artists on it. That's the art point of view. There are books where the writers, I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head and nothing's coming to me right now, but there are times where it's one story and then a new writer takes over and then they stick around for maybe 7, 8 parts and then a new writer comes in. It's not uncommon that after the 7th issue they're changing hands. Okay. Also, IDW has announced that they're going to be doing Infestation #2. The blockbuster hit that was at the beginning of this year, and Infestation, that ran through Ghostbusters, Transformers, G.I. Joe, and what was the 4th one? Star Trek. We'll be revisiting that. We'll be revisiting the whole story again come January with Infestation 2 #1. And this time it's going to reach out to, not Ghostbusters this time, not Star Trek this time, but Transformers again, which is not bad. I enjoyed the Transformers one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I'm actually excited to see that one. That one looks like it's going to be interesting. 30 Days Later, which is already a zombie book, so we'll see how that goes. And Dungeons and Dragons. That is going to be the weakest link of them all. And there are going to be 2 one-shots. One is called Team Ups, and the other one I cannot remember. And then there's going to be the whole finale, Infestation 2 #2. My thoughts on this are, they did a really good job on the first time around, on the first set. It's hard to make a very good sequel. If this sequel could be great, but if this is a sequel that they're just looking to stretch the story, I don't know. I'm hoping, because it involves two of my favorite titles. It's just with Dungeons and Dragons, that's kind of... But I'll probably end up buying those 2 issues just to have the full run. But I'm looking forward to seeing it. It involves some type of an octopus this time, because there's tentacles and stuff they're talking about. My opinion is indifferent right now, because I loved Infestation 1. It was good. So I'll stick around for Infestation 2 and see what's up, but I'm hoping that they don't drag it out. If they drag it out, it's going to ruin Infestation, in my opinion. We'll see. Any other Comic-Con news? There's Comic-Con going on now. There's tons of DC Universe Wave figures coming out. What?
Wasn't there a Marvel announcement?
Not yet. That's Saturday.
Oh, never mind then.
Yes. There's nothing yet from the big 2 other than a couple of panels here and there. Because they save all their stuff for Saturday. Today's only Friday. It's just the independent people are really doing a lot of their work now. So this way when the big 2 do theirs, it's not a big, it's not like they're going to be overshadowed. That's what today and yesterday really are for, the independent people. And I wish I could be there. You have no idea how much I wish I could be there. But unfortunately I'm not. So, also... And in funny news, they mentioned Darth Maul is going to be returning in the Star Wars Clone Wars 3D cartoon series on Cartoon Network, and a series that I'm finally going to be interested enough to pick up in from Dark Horse, that is Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi, which is where it's supposedly Star Wars Legacy takes place after the movies. Dawn of the Jedi supposedly takes place before the movies, way before, like when the Jedis were first coming out. I know I said I was going to get a comic series that was Star Wars related earlier. It was about Qui-Gon Jinn, but I decided to wait a week to see how the ratings were for that book, and the ratings weren't good. So I decided against it. This, I think I'm going to grab the week it's released, because it looks too good to pass up. That, and I might jump back into Batman Odyssey, because Batman Odyssey 1 looks interesting. If anybody's been reading or has read Batman Odyssey #1, let me know how it went. I might jump into that. And there was another book I didn't get, that, and The Fearless. Marvel, Fear Itself, The Fearless. If anybody got that, let me know how that is. Because those are 2 books I was on the fence with, and both books, one book got a review, it was 4.5, that was The Fearless. I didn't see anything for Batman Odyssey #1, which is really #7. Go figure, they restarted. Okay, so now we're going to get into the news that involves all comic book reviewers. Me and Cody were actually, me and my friend Toxity, were talking about this for a bit last night. I said my wrong name for wrong friend, different people. Me and my friend Tox were talking about this last night. On my group channel, the podcasts have slowly stopped due to the fact of people not showing up, or it just wasn't working out on that site, because gaming has really no news except for the games that are coming out. However, though, I've been talking about this on my channel for a very long time, and you guys know what I'm talking about, doing a comic book podcast. And you know what? Yesterday I was talking with Tox, and we were talking about it for about a good hour-and-a-half to 2 hours, about how our community, yes, we are united, yeah, we send each other things, and we send each other messages and stuff. We're all really close, but at the same time, we still are divided when it comes to like reviews and stuff like that. Like, our opinions are always going to be divided. That's what makes it cool. But at the same time, as a kid growing up, I remember feeling alienated due to the fact that I collect comic books, because none of my friends collected comic books, and ridicule actually followed because I collected comic books from my friends about my comic collecting. It would have been nice to have a community like we have now, where I could be made fun of at school or wherever, and then I could come home and be like, oh, you know, and talk to people that actually collect comic books, whether it be online or whatnot. I've been talking about this podcast for a while to bring our community closer together. I think the time for talk is done. I said it, I said it exactly this way to Toxicity last night. Talk is cheap. And talk is over. Actions speak louder than words. So, I'm not going to wait around for everybody to say they're ready anymore. Because I have enough people that said they're willing to come on whenever to do it. I would love to have all you guys on a podcast, or at least separate the podcast where I'll have half of you on one podcast and then the other half of you on the other. But unfortunately, with time differences and everything, it's getting very hard, and work and life, it's getting pretty hard to catch the people I want on. So what we're going to do is, and Tox said it best, is we'll deal with what we have. And that's how we'll start. Because, you know, I could talk about this until this time next year. But I'm done talking about it. I'm ready to act on it. I want to bring our community closer together. Hell, guys, do you realize we talk to each other online? We know each other's addresses and full names now because we send each other packages. And the people who send us and the guys, it's not just who sends the package knows the other person's address. It's the person who gets the package who knows the person who sent his address now. So it's an equal exchange. We know each other's names, we know each other's lives basically, and yet we're still calling each other YouTube friends. You know, if you really look at the definition of a friend, technically we're not YouTube friends. We're all friends. Plain or regular ordinary friends. We're not internet buddies. Internet buddies don't send each other gifts. Internet buddies don't talk about everyday life with each other. Friends do that. So I'm going to stop saying my YouTube friend talking out. I'm going to just say my friend talking out, because that's what you guys are. All of you got to realize that each and every one of us that comment, the people who comment on each other's videos, the people who send each other things, the people who send each other messages, we're all friends. Regular friends. Yes, it's through the internet due to the fact that we all live in different states and different countries, but in a whole we are friends, not just YouTube friends. Because if I went to visit Canada, let's say tomorrow, I know exactly where I can find Doc and Howlett. If let's say I want to just pop by and say, hey, what's up? Of course I wouldn't just pop by unannounced. That would be disgustingly rude. And same if he came to New York. If he came to New York, he'd know exactly where to find me. That's a friend. Right, Mike?
Yes.
That's a friend. By this time next year, my goal is to get everybody in the comic community joined together. Even if we don't talk to, all of us talk to each other, at least, like, let's say I come on and two of you guys are on. Maybe I can't talk to all three of us together, but we can each talk individually. My goal is to bring us closer together, so this way we'll meet up online maybe at night, maybe some nights a week, and just bullshit about whatever. It doesn't have to be about comics. It could be about life. It could be about everything. I've talked about this already. But that's my goal, is to unite the comic book community as a whole. So this way, yes, we stand individually on our opinions and our reviews, but at least we stand together when it comes to, because right now comic books are cool again, because the new 52 and the way Marvel's doing their movies and the way Marvel's running, but eventually all cool things become uncool again. And when comic books become uncool again, there are going to be people like me when I was a kid who aren't going to have comic collectors in their friend circle or in their town or in their city or where at least the people they know, and they're going to need people like us on the internet to talk to, because we're going to be the only people they can talk to. So we have to stand united as a community. So tomorrow, Saturday, I don't have comic books. I'm going to be on Skype at 12 in the afternoon, my time. That's New York time. Now, I can't do calculations for you guys, but it's going to be 12 noon my time. Up until 1 o'clock p.m. my time. This goes out to my comic book reviewer friends right now. I want to start the comic book reviews with experienced comic book reviewers and then lead into people who are new to comic books. Even if you're, like Comic Noob says, he's new to comic books, and comic book guys, I know I'm saying their name wrong and I really apologize. You're on my really awesome friends list and everything. You guys are new to comic books, but you've been doing reviews for months now. I need people who've been doing comic book reviews for a while at least. A little while at least. And this goes out to you guys. You guys that are new to comic books, as the podcast progresses, you guys will be welcomed in. But right now, I need experienced comic reviewers for this podcast. So tomorrow, 12 to 1, New York time, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., I'm going to be on Skype. I've talked to Toxicity. He's going to be on. I'm going to be talking to X-Men 14 as soon as this video goes up, and I'm going to be talking to Spider-Man 1991. If I have at least 3 or 4 people, I'm going to shoot the first ever podcast. And from there, I'm not saying, I'm telling you guys, you are welcome. I'm not saying you're not welcome. You are welcome to jump on anytime you guys want. I would love to have, I could give you a list of people. Go on my awesome reviewers list. I want every single person on that list. I would love to have every single person on that list on my podcast. Except, of course, I know Pete's Basement, they're very busy. They have their own webcast show. So, unfortunately, for those of you who are like, oh, you're going to get people from Pete's Basement, I don't think so. I don't think any of them have the time to do it right now. But other than Pete's Basement, everybody else on my list of awesome friends, everybody whom I've been commenting and been watching their videos, I want you on that podcast badly, because I think it would be great to have each and every one of you on it, because each and every one of you have different opinions about different books. You agree with some things I say, you disagree with other things I say, because you don't personally disagree. I mean, you think something's cool or good when I think something's or vice versa. So I would love to have you guys on that cast. I cannot say it hard enough. I cannot mean it any more than I'm saying. That's hard to actually say. I can't mean it any harder, any more than I mean right now. I mean, I want all of you on it. I'll label some of you right now. I'd love to have Captain Strangelove. I'd love to have Ghost Critic. I'd love to have Dawk and Howlett. Dawk, and I've already talked to you a few times on Skype. I understand you're working at night, though, so that's going to kind of make it hard. I'd love to have... I'm talking to Spider-Man 1991 on Skype. Hopefully he'll be on board for this. I know X-Men 14 and Toxicity are in it, are in for doing it already. I'd love to have comic book review guys. I'd love to have Comic Noob. God, I wish I had my list up right now and I could give you guys the full list. Cromda 1, I'd love to have him on it. There's another guy from Canada, oh my god, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head, and that's so bad because I like his videos too. He's one of Dawk and Howlett's friends. But anyway, I'd love to have all of you on it. Go on my channel. If you see you're on my awesome friends and reviewers list, that means I would love to have you on the cast. Enough said. So I'm bringing our community closer. By this time next year, we're going to be either we're going to be a really united group, or the people at least that I get on the podcast we'll be united. So if you're interested, Skype is free. Download it. What?
28 minutes.
Okay, Skype is free. You can download it for free. So check out Skype, download it, and hopefully I'll see you guys on a cast sometime soon, or we could just sit down and just chat, 1-on-1 or 3-on-3 or whatever. But Skype is free. Check it out, all of you guys, because I'd love to have you on the cast. It would be a great way to bring us together. Even if we do comic reviews, it would be a way we could all guest star on our reviews and whatnot. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to cut this short. But basically, it's a way to get us closer together. It's free, and we're all on the internet anyway, right? We're all on YouTube. I'll see you guys soon in another video. I have no idea which one, but anyway, see you guys later. Sorry for cutting this short.